Hi, it's Exploring John. Today we're going to make apple wine. Now we're not going to use whole apples. I went to Aldi's and got Aldi's apple juice, 100% juice. So we're making some more of Erin's wedding wine, and she's going to be here to help us. We've sterilized our fermenters, and now we're going to pour in the apple juice. We've got 10 64-ounce jugs of it. Erin's here making her wedding wine, her second batch. Watch our video of the Concord grape. And when she's done, that should give us 5 gallons of juice. That's what we'll start with. Now we finished with the first fermenter. We're going to close that up and start in on the second one. So we're making 2 batches of apple wine. This is what you can expect it to look like as you pour it in. Here's the last one. Now we need to add sugar. And we know we're going to use 5 pounds something, and we're going to start with a 4-pound bag. Opening that up and dumping it in. We're doing it over the fermenter, so if anything falls out, it just goes into the fermenter. Now we'll pour the sugar into the second fermenter. Now we're going to stir some of that sugar in. Now reverse. We just don't want to make big waves and have it slosh out the side. As long as you can feel sugar on the bottom, keep stirring. We finished stirring this first one, went to the other fermenter, did that, and then we came back to see if any of the sugar settled out. But we're not finding any, so it looks like it all mixed in. So now we're going to get a reading. We put our hydrometer into the fermenter, and we looked at the reading, and we got just a hair over 10%. So we decided that's the percentage we want to make this at. They say fruit wine should be a little bit lower on the alcohol, so the fruit flavor comes through and not the alcohol. So we're going to go with this 10%. And we reached that by putting a 4-pound bag of sugar in there. So with the juice and 4 pounds of sugar, we have the percentage we want. Now we need to add a couple more ingredients. Now we're going to put in our additives. We have 6½ teaspoons of acid blend, 2½ teaspoons of pectic enzyme, 1 3/4 teaspoons of tannin, and 5 teaspoons of yeast nutrient. Dump that, now we'll stir it in. Sometimes we'll see the tannin clump on the surface. That's not unusual. I had a friend ask me about the ingredients and whether he needed to use them or not. I told him the acid blend and the tannins for taste, and the peptic enzymes to help with clearing, and the yeast nutrient is for the yeast. But I recommend going ahead and putting them in. And yes, that did change the color. but it'll change again as we make this into wine. Now we'll do the same thing in the other fermenter. Now it's time to add our yeast. We're using EC1118. We're just going to pour it in. And we'll close that up and come back tomorrow and see where it's at. Hopefully it'll be working away. We're using EC1118. We've already poured it in the first fermenter, now we're doing the second. Now we'll close it up and come back tomorrow and see how it's doing. I put a napkin on top to cover up the hole and then set a quarter on top of it for weight to keep anything out. We didn't push the lids all the way down, they're just sitting there loose. Now we'll come back tomorrow and see how it is. It's been 3 hours since we pitched the yeast, so we're going to take a peek here. If it all looks good, it looks like it's working. So we'll come back and take a look tomorrow. That's what you wanted to see. It's been a day, so we're going to come back and take a look and see what we see. Oh, a bunch of bubbles. That looks real nice. Here's the hydrometer. Let's see what it's reading. Okay, it's about a 9, and that goes with what it's been in the past. When we've done this, the first day, it just kind of hangs there, then takes off from there. So we see bubbles, we know we're doing good. Now we need to stir it. We'll take the hydrometer out so that it doesn't get broken in the stirring. This is punching down the cap. You can get nasties up there on top on that foam. That'll mess up your wine, but stirring it down gets rid of that. Also, it puts some air in there. See, now we got a different kind of bubble. Now I'll do the other batch. Take the lid off, and got a lot of bubbles there. Stick my hydrometer in. Yep, about the same, maybe down just a little bit. That's all right. Now we'll stir the cap on this one. So if you're making this and you're following along with this, this is the stuff you should see. The bubbles change color. They're more white now. We want to get some air in there. That's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow. We're back. It's time to stir again. We're going to take a look here and see what it looks like and get a reading on it. Oh, look at those bubbles. Oh, it looks good. Let's see here. See if we can get a semi-clear spot here. Looks like it's a 7. So we're going to go ahead and stir this. Pull my hydrometer out. Set it aside. Bubbles are different from yesterday. They're more white today. Get all the way down to the bottom. Now we have this thick white foam. That's the yeast burps coming out. Really foaming up. Now we'll check the other fermenter. Here's the second fermenter. We'll take the lid off. Looks a little bit different, but not much. Let's get a reading on it. It's about the same. It's about an 8. Now we'll stir it. Stir it to get air in it, and also to get the bubbles out. And it bubbled up also. Think, Matt, of white bubbles. We'll put the lid back on. We'll stick the hydrometer in here first. We'll put the lid back on and we'll see you tomorrow. I came early to look at the hydrometer to see if I'm going to be racking this tonight. Nice bubbles. Let's find the hydrometer. It's hiding over here. Oh yeah, it's really dropped down. Yes, it should be ready to rack tonight. It's down to like a 3, 3.5. We lifted off the lid. Now we're gonna check the hydrometer. Get a reading here. See if we can get somewhere that's kind of clear. Yeah, it's down. It's down maybe at a 3. So it's time for us to rack this stuff. This will be the first racking. And that's siphoning it out of the fermenter into a glass carboy and putting on an airlock. Alright, we're getting ready to rack. We'll take the hose and clip in. And we hold it at the top so it falls through the jug and it'll get its last gulp of air. And we can take a paper towel and stuff it in the hole and it'll hold it there. So now we just wait for it to fill up. You can hear it falling in now. Sounds like water running or something. So we have a 6-gallon jug and we're putting 5 gallons of wine into it. And then we'll put an airlock on. See you next time. This is punching down the cap. You can get nasties up there on top on that foam. That'll mess up your wine, but stirring it down gets rid of that. Also, it puts some air in there.